Yep. And it looks like we are live, so I'm going to say hello everyone and welcome to a terrible stream for terrible people. How are we doing this fine day? Ugh, I am full of food. So we're going to start with that, obviously, because can't be a terrible stream without the food bit. Ate too much.
Just saying, how long would it take for you to mention food?
Immediately. Look, I read the comments. Well, not whatever it's called. But yeah, oh, I need to take these off because I fucking hate wearing headphones. Right, yeah. What have we been up to? What have you been doing? I am fucking knackered, and I don't know why. And it's been just ugh. And I've just realised I don't have chat in. I have it like in my peripherals. That's not very smart of me. Let's go grab that shit. Oh god, one would start to think that this was just not a very professional stream for very professional people. Almost like it's named that on purpose. Right, there we go. Post and go. Oh, we're doing exactly as we are. Terribly. That is perfect. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear you doing good, because then I'll be like jealous and shit. And I don't want it. What was the food? It was chicken burger, and it was all right. It's annoying because we've been. It was a takeaway. I found a takeaway that tells you the calories, and it was shit. Like it wasn't very good food, but the one that we really like doesn't tell us what it is, so I can only assume it's a million. So, you know, even when we're trying to be kind of sensible, even though we shouldn't order fucking food because it's never good for you.
I'm drinking and playing Age of Empires 4, defending England against France.
I mean, that's what you got to do. Borger. Absolutely knackered. Having your testicles removed will do that to you. I don't know if...
Well, yours are detachable, so...
I just don't... As far as... I thought knackers... The knackered comes from sending horses to the knackers yard where they turn them into glue. At least that's what I thought it meant. I could be completely wrong. I just know it mostly means very, very tired.
Yeah, it's like a glue factory. But
Yeah.
your balls are like glue factories.
Your balls are like glue factories. Just finished a 4-part series debunking a 90-minute video with David Weiss did with an Aussie COVID denying survivalist. That was fun. If you say so. That just mostly sounds really fucking long. Oh, and I do not, for the most part, have the attention span for that. Unless it's something I already like. Then I have infinite attention span. Evening, sir and missus. This weekend, I was cat-sitting for my mum while she was visiting my sister. He was well behaved, thankfully. I also went to the new Japanese restaurant near me. That was great. I am glad to hear all of those things. Sounded like you had an okay weekend. We finally got a mirror put up. It's only been, what, 2 months?
Longer than that.
It's at least 2 months ongoing. And it wasn't me who put the mirror up. It was my brother. We invited him round to watch movies and have popcorn and put a mirror up for us. He also brought my birthday present a week early. It was a little robot. And fucking hell. This thing is... So, me and my brother have a thing. We like tech. And we like to like share techie things back and forth with each other. But he's more into coding. Well, I'm not into coding at all. I don't have a brain for coding, but he does. So a lot of the time, the tech stuff that he gets me is like just really fucking complicated, like kind of intimidatingly so. Honestly, I'm sure when I sit down and do it, I'll be fine. Like, I might be stupid, but I'm at least half decent with my hands. But it's just this box of bits, and you just have to build the whole thing, and it's a bit, I don't know. It might just be getting on a bit.
Mini robot, does it serve you whiskey? This first thing we thought of when we saw it.
Oh, yeah. You could program it to, like, wander around your house and shit. I don't know how complex it can get, but it's it can be coded into, not just have simple controls. Not that I'm going to have any fucking concept of how to do any of that shit. See, you can't C++ the woods for the trees. Fuck's sake. Yeah. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if your last words before you died were something really stupid like, who farted? Or, can you stop sitting on my foot? I don't know. If someone's sitting on your foot while you're in the road, you get hit by a bus. I think that wouldn't be stupid. I think that would be a fair final words. Just a little odd if out of context.
I have cold feet, so if somebody sat on my feet would warm them up. That'd be nice.
Yeah, she'd prefer it. That's how she wants to go. She wants to go out with warm feet that may have been farted on. Took a class for coding in high school. That's when I realized my brain is the definition of non-computable. See, I like computers, and I do a lot of computer stuff. And I do a lot of relatively complex computer stuff. But you stick me in front of some code, and my brain just goes, pew! It's just like, not something... I know everyone should know a bit of code. And I can read some really basic shit, and I know like a little bit of actual basic from back in the day. Like I can get a computer to say hello world to me, but other than that, yeah, I just get my brother to do it all. Hopefully, I die first, and then I won't ever have to learn. Did you wear clothes or feathers? What? Is the stupid under discussion today that of flirtard? Like if you wanna talk about flat earthers, you fill your boots. Flat earthers are silly and believe silly things. Anyway, unless I have one in front of me saying the stupid things to me, I'm not gonna bring the stupid to mind. I'm not gonna bring it up. I bring that shit up in the videos. Occasionally there's something stupid that I actually want to talk about. But, yeah, no. Foot farting is the corner of the internet I don't want to be on. And that's fair. Nobody wants to be on that part of the internet. Hey, Sick, what TV couple most resembles you and Mrs. Sick? American or British TV? Pass? Don't really watch TV.
Not a lot.
Especially not stuff with, like, couples in a way. Alright, we watch... I don't know, what do we watch?
Picard and Riker, there you go.
That's fair. Wait, who's Picard?
You.
Okay.
The other one is balding.
Yeah, and you do have a mighty beard.
Yeah, and I do prop my leg up on stuff a lot.
Hey, you were great in Miles Power's latest video, but I think you mispronounced provenance. I know! I fucking watched it and I went, oh god! Oh no! I mispronounced a word! The internet is never gonna live this down. Shit happens. I think that's the point of having it on screen, so that you know if someone's being an idiot. Oh, I fixed my van yesterday. Nowhere to go today. That's always the best. Basic. Wow, I learned that on my Commodore 64 in the early 80s. Funnily enough, I learned it on a Commodore 64 in the early 90s. Because my dad had one, and then we had it as our fucking first computer to fuck around with. Yeah, before we eventually got a SNES. Or a SNES, or a Super NES, or whatever the fuck else you want to say. I love how mad some people get when I've said the word SNES. And they're like, you say SNES? What are you, some kind of freak? I'm like, I don't care how you say it. What the fuck do you care how I say it? Sir, down with the sickness. I like that. Bub. Sir Sick is balding. That implies that the helmet grows hair. Now I have more questions. It is quite hairy. I mispronounced a word. I must fall on my sword. Exactly. I mean, I lean on my sword a lot. It drives some... People get really fucking mad at the outro avatar's posture. Like, the leaning on the sword and it bending. It drives people... Certain people are like, dude, no. No. And I'm like, it's a cartoon. It's fine. Calm down. And if anybody's coming to the Sir Sick channel for I mean, for anything really, but specifically for sword maintenance tips, they are going to be, at the very least, swordly disappointed. Get it? That was a funny joke. I see you're a Commodore and raise you a ZX81 with a wobbly 16K RAM pack. Shut up. You're turning me on. If you like to get that feeling of the old things, but with a new one, get yourself a Raspberry Pi 400. Those things are cool. Computer and a keyboard. It has that same kind of vibe. So it's akin to an STP. A STP. I am. Mr. Sick drew me as one. It was entertaining. I had a Commodore Plus 4. My parents hated me. I don't know. You had Plus 4 what? I'm assuming that's a version name. Don't fucking correct me for the love of God. I came here for helmet shining pointers. Use your tongue. Do you clean your sword pommel to tip or tip to pommel? Pass.
It doesn't clean.
Last game system I owned, Atari 2600. Only PC after that. Okay. Oh, I see a lot of, I'm on Kura Digest or whatever the fuck they call it, so I get a lot of weird questions come up. And one that pissed me off the other day, as a mostly PC gamer, but I own all the consoles because I like to have options and play the games and have the features and all that shit. And we have a living room PC, and it's being a total fucking twonk at the moment and driving me a little bit crazy. And I'm like, this is why, like, when you have a console, the controller connects, the game generally tends to just work. Yeah, I know that's not true 100% of the time, but it's way more common for things to just work. And when you sit down and you just want to play a fucking video game, consoles work. And I get the appeal. Now, I don't mind fucking about, but people who don't get why consoles exist anymore. I've seen the other as well. Why do PCs? It's like, why do options exist? Because they're good, you fucking twat. I don't know. Internet people piss me off sometimes. Get a fucking broad view of the world. Stop being stupid. I know I need people to be stupid for my job, but don't be stupid about the things I actually care about. I had a Sega in the 80s. In the 80s. So that would have been a Master System. Is that it? Yeah. The fucking one that looks like a giant play button. That one. Oh, speaking of play buttons, I got one of those. I'd forgotten about that. That's what I did this weekend. I got a play button. It was fucking surreal.
You unboxed it with the kids.
Yeah, the
kids.
kids.
Very excited.
The kids were 1,000 times more excited than I was that I got a silver play button. They were like, oh my God, I never thought I'd see one of these in real life. And I'm like, that is fucking adorable. I guess, most of us lived before YouTube, but the kids grew up with it. Like, it's just always been there. So a silver play button is like kind of a big deal. £50 offer for the play button still stands. Cash. If you want my play button, you can have it for £10,000 because it's fucking mine. I think 10,000 seems fair. Stupid Horizon gets in the way. I'm sure it was for Spoon Stuff Stories. I'd love it if it was for Spoon Stuff. That'd be awesome.
But if Spoon Stuff would ever get it, I'd have to put Blossom on it.
You'd have it...
Because you can choose your name that you put on it, can't you?
I think so. It asks you for the name, which is really weird. Which is why I think people can fuck it up.
Yeah, you get misspellings and stuff.
It was actually really fucking stressful when I got the thing, and you get this code that you have to put into their system, And then it goes, okay, we see that this is an appropriate code. Enter your details. And I'm like, oh, God, what if I fuck this up? 10K will get you at like least a week's supply of whiskey. Yeah, thereabouts. I predict a future fighting when the kids discover which one of them is going to inherit the play button. It'll just get snapped in half. So one of them will get one that says sir, and the other one will get one that says sick. Your play button is fake. Hans Wormhat told me so, but Roger told me it's actually fossilized dragon scales. So who the fuck knows? You offer £10,001? Hey, you make that fucking... You put that in, like, actual... On a document. I'll do that shit. 10 grand would be really fucking helpful right now. We're saving for a house. Like... 10K for a play button. Time for a GeoFundMe. I assume you meant go. Oh, Team Skeptic. I didn't even notice you there. Yeah, 100K Cup. You got your button. Or did you forget to order it? Or did they not let you order it? Because that's an option. If you didn't know. Like, there are fucking rules.
Wow, I didn't realise that.
What?
That you can just not have it.
Yeah, if you're a particular type of channel. Like, if you do a lot of compilation stuff, you might not get it. So, depending on exactly what you do.
How
yeah.
to mess up Gavin.
And you could, like I could see how certain types of compilation, that could be, like, proper work that you work really hard to make good compilations of stuff. But because, you know, like, imagine 100,000 people. If 100,000 people subscribe to almost anything, there's like a good reason for that. It's very unusual for someone to subscribe to something for no fucking reason. 110 watching, only 33 likes. Yeah, but now it's going to go over 69 and Mrs. Six is going to get sad.
Yeah.
She's learnt that what she should do is not say anything. I know someone who doesn't have one. Her name is Delete Laws. Is that a compilation channel? I don't know. It depends what you do, I suppose. If you're putting up other people's things, I know that kind of comes under it. I just hate cash. Take it. Take all the cash. Throw it. I love cash. Because cash can be exchanged for goods and services. And whiskey is both a good and a service. I call them whiskey tickets. It probably depends on how transformative your content is. To an extent, yeah. Like, if you are just basically republishing other people's stuff without anything. I think my fucking... I have been accused of just using other people's content. But when you consider that... I can take a 2-minute video... And I don't consider it stretching it out. I just turn it into a 15-minute video because it's something for me to bounce off of. Yeah, there's very rarely less than 70% of me in any given video. Like, it is a solid 10 minutes of me talking shit. That is just basically how it works. Thousands of people subscribe to PragerU. I don't think there's a good reason for that. I mean, they could have been drunk. Whoops. I'm probably subscribed to PragerU, but not for good reasons for them. Although, then again, I probably am not, because I search for them to see what stupid thing they've said recently. Waiting for an ad to end. Do you receive anything if I let an ad play? I assume so. I know... The biggest advantage for a YouTuber and streams is people who have YouTube Red. And if you watch the whole stream, I believe that because it's a relatively significant amount of time. Talking shit, hence my repeat visits. Yeah. You don't want to sniper wolf it. I don't know what that means. I mean... if you're talking about another YouTuber, one of the things that consistently blows my mind about this platform is the other day. In fact, it was last night, wasn't it? We were watching. Mrs. Sick went, "Oh, I've seen that video," and it was this fucking little terrarium that someone had made, but it was like really nicely put together, and he was explaining all the different critters and how they'd made a sort of balanced ecosystem. And then I went and looked at the views, and it was like 16 fucking million views. I'm like, I have never heard of this person in my fucking life, and yet they're enormous, and there's just factually hundreds, if not thousands, of channels that I will never, ever, ever, ever see that I would probably really enjoy that have huge followings,
It's like
and they're just invisible to me.
It's like certain side of YouTube, you get these like YouTube celebrities that tend to appear on the like official YouTube collaboration things. What
I never spend any time on trending.
The ones ones that they
if it's even called trending anymore.
I don't know. It's just I've never heard of like 90% of them.
They're just some bloke or some bird or some person. Yeah, I don't think they have a trending anymore.
No?
I don't see one. Pardon me if I burped in your ear. Ants Canada is like that. We watched Ants Canada straight afterwards. Because Mrs. Sick was like, oh, there was one other thing that was like that, and we couldn't find the thing, but we found something else that was quite fun. But yeah, it's like really weird that all this shit just fucking exists out there.
There was a camping one that we watched too.
Yeah.
There was a guy camping.
God, I watched two.
Guy camping in the woods. With
and now half of my recommended is just
tent.
Swedish blokes in the middle of a fucking damp forest building huts.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, I really want to watch them all.
Did the same thing when we watched, was it Dangerous Dan?
Oh, the fucking biking, yeah.
Yeah, I like that
Dangerous, was it Dangerous Dan or Dangerous Dave?
I can't remember.
It was Dangerous D-Name. And he does these really complex trails on his bike. If you have a big telly and you can like let it fill your field of view, that is quite immersive. Yeah, we spent an afternoon watching those.
Korean ones of people walking around Seoul.
Yeah, Soul Explorer or Soul Walker or something like that.
At like 2 a.m.
At first, we thought it was a fucking game.
Yeah.
We went, this game looks fucking amazing. Look at those graphics. And it turned out to be some dude walking around.
It's because the camera was so still.
They obviously had a gimbal. And they would very, very precisely walk around. And yeah, it just looks like really high-end graphics until a person showed up and went, oh, okay. Yeah, that's not graphics. That person doesn't look fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it was fun. I was watching someone testing tents in the rain 10 hours later. Yeah, the first one, there was the cardboard tent. And it was funny. I saw this cardboard tent and I was like, I want to watch cardboard tent. And then Mrs. Sick walked in and she just sat down and just started watching cardboard tent too. And then we were like, we should go out. And like, yeah, because the kids had gone off with their granddad. And it's like, we should go out. And then 20 minutes later,
yeah, we were still watching.
We were still watching it and like very slowly putting shoes on. It's like, I'll get tech void of that can't not after. Okay. I prefer live cams of desolate train stations.
Oh, that sounds cool.
That sounds aesthetic as fuck. The real life server has supreme graphics, but the respawn time is the absolute worst. I've heard that sometimes you just don't respawn at all. You have to rely on the AI fucking ambulance people to come and revive you, and sometimes they just don't fucking show up. Why are you two still alive? I don't know. Don't mention the tents, they make us tense. Oh, for fuck's sake. But the cardboard tents, the main reason that we were watching it was to find out why. Why cardboard tent though? And it turns out that this company makes them for like Glastonbury and other fucking
Festival.
yeah, that's the word, festivals. Because oh god, if you haven't seen them, it is the most depressing fucking thing to see the absolute aftermath of people staying, because they just leave their tents and other shite just hanging around, and it's like, it blows my mind that people are just that fucking selfish, really. And I've heard stories of people who work at these things, and they say, yeah, you'll come home and you'll bring home like 3 free tents. You just make sure you find one that someone hasn't had a big shit in the middle of it, and then those are the ones worth keeping. The others aren't, for obvious reasons. It blows my mind how awful some people are. And it reminds me of, like, if any of you people are the person who just shits all over the toilet and pisses all over the public toilet floor, why? Why?
I think you should wear nappies.
I can't actually fathom being that person. Like, the life of the person who does that. Who are they? Who are you that you've gotten to the point in your life, or perhaps this is something you do regularly, and you just shit and piss? Like, okay, the piss one, maybe you're just really fucking drunk. I can kind of get that. But smearing shit all over a bathroom.
Yeah, they're weird. That's weird.
Like, what?
I don't know. It doesn't happen that often in female toilets, though.
And you'd be staggered how often it happens at, like, businesses where no one is obviously intoxicated. Like, no one there should be out of their fucking mind, drunk or high, in any clear way. No one can tell who did it, and yet I suppose there's a certain amount of spite. But fucking on the ceiling. Yeah. My great grandma died out of spite at an annual checkup. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the way to do it.
Fuck you. Oh
I never did like you, Dr. Fuckface. Blah. Sorry, we can't use public toilet. Public, in fact. Rub their face in it. You find out who it is, yeah. Do it like a fucking puppy. I work in the kitchen of a hospital, and one of my staff shit on the seat of the toilet just along the rings. It was horrible, but amazing.
How?
Do you know who did it?
Are they like crouching above it? And then just like...
See, this is why I will never, ever, ever own a public business. Ever in a million years. It never happened in any of my mum's pubs that I know of.
In our cafe, a woman smeared it all over the ceiling. How she did it was a mystery.
The hows and the whys.
It's just diarrhea at the door instead
They
of
need
the
to
toilet.
do. That's what we need. We need a fucking Louis Theroux documentary.
Oh my god.
He finds...
You mean like a Louis Theroux of public smearers?
There's got to be, like, a club for these people. Like, somewhere, there's a secret board where they all meet up because they're as shameful as almost anything else. But they've got to... They must need to tell. People must need to say, hi, I'm one of those people. I shit on top of the toilet.
Oh my god. It happened in my office during the year. They shat on the floor in the cubicle and then threw up on the shit. The cleaning staff went mental and nearly quit. I'm not surprised.
Well, the thing is, that's biohazard. Like, that's actually, a lot of the time, they're not supposed to clean that up. You have to call someone. Because that's, like, that could be dangerous. Someone who does that might have something wrong with them in more ways than one. Air Squatters Anonymous. I thought everybody was an air squatter, at least when it comes to public toilet. I mean, that's the beauty of having a dingle, is that when you need to pee, you could just pee down the hole. Also, I want to know if the guys who piss all over the floor, if it is just... Some of them it has to be just drunk and swaying. But I have this image in my head. You know, a faulty tap that goes like... and it sprays everywhere. There's got to be some guys out there with cocks like that just absolutely just almost missed it. I used to see it in Saudi Arabia when the locals used Western toilets. This was in a very prestigious office. I mean, that sounds like it was 100% for comic effect. She was given a clean bill of health and told to get dressed. Nurse came back and she was dead on the floor. Fucking hell. That's just... Your great-grandmother was just... She did that on purpose. I can't see any other how.
It's kind of baller, to be honest.
Yeah. Sounded like a bamf. If you see a pile of shite, drop £1 or $1 onto it and then wait to see who grabs it. I mean, some people will just take it.
Well, just leave
I
the,
think
leave
the,
the,
I,
you mean leave the money. And
I think the someone takes the poo. I'm not touching someone else's money. I will have that shit though. That looks delicious. Take that, society. I mean, yeah. Like a wide garden hose splatter in the bathroom.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I could only assume. Then, of course, there's the people who spray diarrhea everywhere. Once worked in a shop where we shared toilet with the Greek owner of the shop next door. When he had his mum visiting, she was standing on the sink and shitting. Not... What? Why? Did she just not like you? Did you say something? Because it's not like no one would have known who it was. That's the fucking weirdest one. When there's no question as to who did it, and there wouldn't be a question. It's like, what? We've had it in some of the warehouses I worked. Billy Connolly has a skit about that. The doctor recommended the guy see a clarinet player. What? Okay. Working in an office years ago, somebody used to block the toilets with a huge jobby on the same day every week. After a few weeks, the cleaning staff refused to clean it up. So that's when you need the poop knife.
Oh my god.
That person needs to bring a poop. Didn't your mum do that?
What?
Your mum, where she worked, she blocked the toilets. And everybody thought it was one of the dudes.
Yeah.
And she was like saying nothing.
Yeah.
Your mum is not one for embarrassment, but there was, like, she thought it was a funny story to tell to people she knew, but she never or did she tell them eventually? Or she's never told them?
I don't know, my mum is very impulsive, so her trying to keep quiet about anything is usually rare.
It depends how big, but yeah, that was pretty funny. Until I found someone's windshield wiper in one of the women's toilets. I mean, I'll be honest, that's pretty tame. I'd be quite happy to find a windshield wiper, as long as it wasn't, like, completely caked in shit. I did see a guy walking a dog. He shit on the pavement, and the dog ate it. Oh! Oh, why? You didn't need to tell us that one. Fucking hell. That was how you used a toilet in Greece. There was just a hole in the floor, so I imagine she didn't know what the concept of a toilet... Surely she didn't have to climb. You go back and you ask. Come on. When is a door not a door? When it's a jar. Ugh. Get out. That's one way to wipe, I guess. Sometimes you think, why bother using the toilet when the sink is closer and about the right height? Like, to pee in or to poop in? I have to say, made myself laugh the other day. Someone was driving past us blaring music. And I was just like, I could just stick my ass through the window of their car and just start crapping violently at them. And that would be so fucking... Imagine being that driver. I mean, it's the only language he understood. I feel like I told this story last week, but I don't care. It's still funny. At my first job at a theatre, someone had flipped the booster seat and let their kid load it up, mostly liquid. I almost picked it up before the smell hit me. Fucking hell. We should move on from this. There's people who are like,
I'm feeling a bit gross.
It was a great idea to listen to this when I'm on my lunch break. So let's talk about something else, like food. Sir, dude, what was you doing in a female toilet to find the window wiper? I mean, one assumes they were cleaning it. Like, you do know that people do need to clean toilets. I do really hate that.
Like, toilet's a toilet to me, so I don't give a shit.
I mean, yeah. Especially if you're the one tasked with cleaning them, they really don't matter. So we've moved on from talking about food to talk about crap. The circle of life. Urinals were invented for women in dresses. I feel like that's fairly unlikely. Could be wrong. It is funny, some of the images of like people straddling a toilet, straddling a urinal, trying to figure it out. How about that local sports team? Go Animals! I have absolutely
Oh God!
What?
My dad, he was on about the Women's World Cup.
Okay.
And I went, I'd rather watch paint dry, Dad. And he's like, oh yeah, so, and then he carried on talking about it, and I was just like, I don't care. And he's like checking the score online, and I'm like, and telling me, and I'm like, I don't care.
Oh my God. I could literally not give a single shite. I do not care.
I love it though, because he's like, oh well, you should be there supportive because they're women. And I'm like, because you're a woman too, so you should be supporting. No.
I don't watch boys' sport team because they're boys. What the fuck? People should watch the sports they like because they like them, not because.
World's Strongest Man is yeah.
See, that's what she watches. She fucking does. She watches that shit.
I like World's Strongest Man.
And then she buys me an Atlas ball, and she says, "Babe, put this on top of a barrel." They'll turn me on, and I'm like, you fucking bought it, you put it on top of the barrel, and I go to sleep. Let's talk about polishing helmets. Let's not, and say we did. I hate how many times I've seen for fuck's sake. Women's Cup was fun on break at work the other day. I couldn't think of anything more tedious, regardless, male, female, fucking... I was going to say giraffes. I'd probably watch giraffes play football if they were any good at it. But, yeah, I like to watch UFC. Not interested. We're kind of wankers. We watch a bit of extreme sports whenever it turns up.
I also like sumo, but that's kind of the same thing.
That's Strongest Man, but different.
I like big dudes.
She like big blokes and she cannot lie. I remember a certain night speaking about how if you don't buy Mrs. Six merch, you hate all women. No, if you don't buy my merch. Merch. If you don't buy my merch that she draws, then you hate all women. And I think that's fair. That's a fair inference. Who needs a bidet when you can do handstands in the shower? Does your shower head not come off the wall? I guess maybe it doesn't. We've got a movable shower head. If you need to clean your arsehole, it's like not hard. Ptolemy shagged Cleopatra #9 and his daughter. Thanks. That's the sort of information that you really need to know. Hard-hitting news reporting.
I don't know. Wasn't like Ptolemy Greek, so well, he shags everybody.
I always hated pretending to care about sports just to keep my job. What job? Did you work for a sports team? Because I feel like you probably were in the wrong job. I can't think of a job where I'd have to pretend that. I just wouldn't fucking care. There are other things to talk about. But honestly, like, because a lot of our family members are quite normy. So the things they want to talk about are asinine bullshit that was on the telly.
Oh no.
And it's so fucking tedious.
Like I'm trying to have a conversation with my mum is very difficult because she'll start off talking about the kids, how they're doing, what they're doing, blah blah blah, and then after that she talks about her work, and then she's like talking about the weather and how it's nice or how it's crap, and then I die a little inside, and then she's talking about something she heard on the news but she can't remember the details properly of it, so it's pointless even having that conversation. And then I die a little inside a little more, and then she talks about a new restaurant that she's heard of, and I'm just like I'd rather talk about diarrhea on the walls.
Selling insurance. If you don't talk about sports, they won't buy it. Ugh. That does sound really bad. Like, I don't even know what that has to do with it. Buy the insurance. If you don't, the footballs will become sponges, and that would be bad. Now I gotta bounce. Take care.
What's that? Is it in Futurama to try and make sports more interesting?
There's not sports more interesting. They just invented Blurns Ball. And it's just all gibberish rules.
Yeah, I like that though.
And they pretend that
Pretend that everyone knows what's going on.
yeah. Everyone's just like, way, and they start writing down random numbers. Going to the pub at lunchtime from work was tedious because the blokey thing to do was talk about football and cars. Then just talk about something else. And if you've got nothing to talk about, then just stare.
I don't know.
Stare into their dead souls.
Me and you, though, we can go to the pub and just sit there and not talk and, like, listen to our own music.
Well, to be fair, the other day it was really fucking loud in there.
It was really loud.
So we just put on our earphones, listened to a bit of music until everyone shut the fuck up, and then we had a talk. But before then, blurn! And all athletes are taking steroids. Yeah, until... This wasn't any good until taking drugs was mandatory. I genuinely believe... I mean, it's a terrible idea. It would be awful for the people. But wouldn't it be fucking fascinating to just see how many stories a human being could jump over? Like, having mandatory drugs... And just as many as possible.
What, you want to, like, give him, like, the most ultimate dose that just off lethal, just to see what happens?
Effectively. I do think it would be interesting. Not that it would be good for the people participating, but it's also not like they wouldn't.
I've seen some really nasty, like, documentary things of people who are, like, injecting themselves with crap just to try and make themselves look bigger.
Oh, people injecting stuff.
Like, usually it's oil.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't imagine, no, I can't, like, I can't, the idea of poking myself with needles is it feels...
Bad enough.
It feels wrong to do that.
Put weapons on the Formula 1 cars.
Injecting, like, just vegetable oil in it goes. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I did always like the idea of weaponized racing. Because those are the best games.
What, you mean like Mario Kart?
I mean, I'm thinking more Wipeout.
Oh, okay.
And not fucking Wipeout from the TV. Wipeout 2097 or whichever version on the PlayStation. Rocket. That fucking shit is sick.
If you cannot afford a ride, what will be administered to you?
Exactly. They should do a normal Olympics and an all drugs or go Olympics. Just to see what kind of mental records they can achieve. Yeah.
Oh, God,
conceptually, it sounds amazing, but I kind of sort of maybe understand why that might not be the best idea, because of all the dead. Beyond Thunderdome. I mean, if it's a death match, then I think all bets should be off. Red Dwarf Books parody doing a sport where gelfs were banned after a football club genetically engineered a goalkeeper that was as wide as the goal. That's fair. We know the genes to give us stronger bones and double muscle mass, genetic engineering for the win. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other fucking pile of... Ooh. I saw a guy who at work who was so into bodybuilding, he had to turn sideways to get through a door. I mean...
He's a wide boy.
I have to do that, but only because of the fat. But it's more of like an angle. I'm not actually that fat. Shut up. Mario Kart's fantastic. Weaponizing bananas. I feel like weaponizing bananas in actual races would either be too dangerous or so fucking pointless that the cars don't even notice that they're there. We're heading to a cyberpunk dystopia. It is inevitable. It does feel like that sometimes. Why aren't there sanctioned death matches? I think because death is considered bad.
Mrs. Sick doesn't like a small needle. I don't like any needles.
Yeah, she's not a fan of needles. She's not a fan of medicine. Really?
No, I don't like taking painkillers either.
She is a massive pain in the ass. She'll be in pain and like whining and moaning and like, oh, everything's so bad. I'm like, take some painkillers. She's like, oh, I don't want to. And like, I get the reasoning. I get not liking it. But also, I would like it if you would shut the fuck up. Just a little bit. Just take some drug and be quiet. Or a little bit more quiet. I love you, but...
Go to sleep.
Please go to sleep. No, I do actually take good care of her. She can corroborate this. I am not that... I do, like, convince her that she needs to probably take the medicine so she feels better. But I'm not evil. Not that evil. So, but a lot of things are considered bad that aren't. With sanctioned death matches, you would sign a waiver. Oh, I guess that makes it okay. I'm sure there's loads of things that... I'm sure there's no things that where someone signed a waiver where they actually were, like, against their will in a true way. But there are lots of things that are bad that aren't, and some things that aren't, that are considered aren't bad, but really are. I wonder if it's possible for a really fat guy to have such a big ass that he can be taller sitting down than standing up. Well, the old joke was that you're taller lying down than standing up. Blink twice if you have been kidnapped. Well, I mean, neither of us can blink. Sick has many helmets, but tonight he's wearing his favorite. What? My penis. Running Man tried this. It didn't go very well. Well, that's what happens when you fuck with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You basically sign a waiver for any military. I mean, yeah, but it's not quite the same. There is like a reason that you do that. It's a death match. I guess it's about how sort of the worthwhileness of it. And people's entertainment isn't considered worthiness. There we go. Like it's not worthy. What do you mean neither of you can blink? Well, look at us. Have you seen us blink for ages? It's almost like we're drawings or something. Whiskey is a painkiller. Don't work if it's a toothache. It can work.
It helps. Doesn't mean it gets rid of the pain.
It's actually more useful to use like a fingertip of whiskey rubbed on your gums. It doesn't always work, but I think alcohol is an analgesic, so it can make it better. I had a really fucked up lip last week, and I used whiskey on that to basically numb it and dry it out, and that was actually, and clean it, and that was actually really, really effective. Yeah, I'd managed to bite through my lip or something, and I'd infected it from my fucking stupidity, and I couldn't stop picking it. God almighty. It's if you want to test someone's willpower, have part of their lip slightly like coming up just a little bit and tell them not to pick at it. Oh my god. I am not that man. I was just like, pick, 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 pick. Like, I just had to, like, touch it and touch it and touch it to make myself not pick it. God, I wanted to pick it so much. I've been having a staring contest for the last hour. No wonder you keep winning. Well, you know, part of that is skill, obviously.
It kind of helps when you don't have eyes.
Or a soul.
But you don't need a soul to blink, though. To not blink.
No, it helps not having a soul for blinking.
Okay.
It's really great, actually. Whiskey is legit the only cough medicine that works for me. Whiskey, honey with lemon in a hot thing. That's basically a toddy. That's really good for a sore throat. Because basically the honey makes the whiskey and the lemon stick to whatever it is that's making your throat feel like shit. Plus you get drunk. My dog got a cut in the gum, and I don't think I can persuade him to wash his mouth out with whiskey. I think he'd be pretty mad at you, to be honest. That's the sort of thing where you try and do that shit and you get the look of betrayal. Sick, you're my favourite YouTuber. I'm considering upping my subscription. Cool. I am the best. And handsome, and famous, and good at the sex. So, you know. All things to all peoples. Well, the eyes are the window to the soul. So if you don't have eyes, then your soul is stuck in there and can't see out.
That explains a lot.
You know. My wife is ginger. She has my soul. Well, exactly. How do you think they get souls? They take them. Tequila and lemon and honey. Tequila works. I mean, Tequila Mockingbird. Wait, no. I was so mad. I was like, Tequila Mockingbird. Oh, that was clever. And then I looked it up and someone had come up with it years ago. I was so fucking upset. I thought that was so clever. And now have a play button. I mean, who doesn't? Oh, yeah, probably most of you. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! I'm such a piece of shit. Remember having whiskey rubbed on my gum as a kid with toothache. Parenting was easier in the 80s. My goodness.
And then you go back to the 70s where they just gave you a shot.
They just got you drunk. Soulless ginger here. You need to go and find some. Got to go and eat the souls.
Go get the sustenance.
I prefer rum. Pina colada bias. So is that white rum? I don't know. I'm assuming a pina colada has white rum in it.
Ginger sex souls. Wait, Mrs. C. Just redhead or Irish? I'm neither.
She has really, really dark hair. It's almost black. Just and very, very straight. Sorry, I just noticed the perfect artwork. Said sick dick has grown. Is it? I don't know how you can tell. Let's talk about the sword.
It's a teeny tiny erection.
Erection. Fat baby souls are the best.
Oh my god, chunky babies are so cute.
Chunky babies can be absolutely adorable, especially when they do like the evil laugh. That is fucking cute as shit.
Yeah,
like evil fat babies. Oh my god, it's freaking Monday. Yeah, I really hate it when that happens. Last night I was like, oh god. Because that's the thing. I do a work week, like, almost like normal people, except I tend to start at, like, after 12. But I still work at least a full 8 hours. You mean your play button? I play with my button all the time. Yeah. I wonder how long it's going to take us to put that fucking thing up on the wall.
It took how long to get the mirror up, so...
I know, but this is actually important.
Calculate, probably sometime next year.
Chunky babies. I prefer smooth babies. The chunk gets stuck in my teeth. £10,007 for the play button. Look, you send me the money and I'll send you a fucking play button. It might be a paper drawing of it, but you know, it will say play button on it. Remember creosote pastels for a sore throat? Now you're banned from painting your fence with it. What?
I am so confused.
This sounds like something from like the 60s or the 50s where they went fucking wild. I loved it when they figured out the vitamins were healthy. And so people went mental and they just took as much as they could. And people started overdosing on fucking vitamins. Like, just causing problems with their bodies. People are hilarious. Be careful with peanut butter for giving your dog medicine. Some brands switch to xylitol as a sweetener, and it's as lethal to dogs as antifreeze. What? Oh, some brands of fucking peanut butter. I thought you meant the medicine. I was like, wait, they're making the dog medicine poisonous? I feel like that defeats the object. Remember to clean your mirror or it will reflect badly on you. Get out, Gareth. That was awful. Where's the link for Patreon? There's one on my About page. I think there's one down below. I don't know.
There's always one down below.
Everything's down below. It's all in my balls. Wait. Just glue the play buttons. I'm not fucking... It's got like a fabric back. That'd be really bad. That would like tear the shit out of it when it came off. No. Oh, pardon me. Yeah, there's a Patreon link on the fucking... on this page. People are sheep. Easily led. Bah. Okay? People are dogs. They like to go walkies.
Woof woof.
Woof woof. Am I allowed in here? I'm drinking an IPA. It's not yet 2 p.m. Kind of early for whiskey. I prefer it when people don't drink whiskey, I'll be honest. I'd prefer it all went to me. But, yeah, drink what you want. Human or people? I mean, I don't know.
People.
Oops, 2 minutes until sick disappears into the ether. Very likely. And then I've got some fucking work to do, like an asshole. I don't know how to use tech anymore. What are you on? I don't mean like drugs. Are you on a computer? Or are you on a tablet? Or something? I have an About page. I don't know. I suppose I could link it if you're really desperate. There we go. Boosh. Copy. Bot.
Silent green is people.
Paste. There you go. That should work. And it's telling me my own name. I wonder if that will actually work. Hey, it did. Was busy the last couple of months. Did you finally get a PO box? I didn't. It was too fucking confusing.
Yeah, they're always vague and they don't actually give you that much detail on things.
The problem is that the rules, like, I don't want to fucking have one where it will send things back to people because they're the wrong fucking shape. I found it very, very stressful. So I'll probably take a bit and then I'll come back to it and I'll just let everybody know. It seemed like a good idea to announce it on that, but that was just a fucking dumb idea. There's a reason why I try never to make promises. I didn't promise on that on purpose because, fuck. Yeah. I used to be able to buy stuff with PC, but I can barely work it anymore. Have you tried turning it on and off again? That usually helps me. Anyway, I'm going to fuck off now because I've got shit to do. But, yeah, thank you all for coming. Where has that gone? No, it's not that one, that one. All right. We'll catch you next time, peoples.
Bah.
Bye. End.
End.
Uh,
Finito.